Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. A few minutes ago, it sounded like the 4th of July on the National Mall as the hometown Redskins were introduced to this sold-out crowd. They are set to go as their guys will match up with the Atlanta Falcons. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And before kickoff, Charles, quickly your keys to the game.
Well, partner, I can give you the standard ones, turnovers, special teams play. But here's one that doesn't get talked about much anymore, and that's time of possession. Whoever controls the football, gives their defense a break, and takes care of business, that's the team that's going to win this ball game.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. It'll be the #1 pick from back in 2005, leading him onto the field. Their 14-year veteran out of Utah, it's Alex Smith.
And despite another terrific season from Alex Smith in Kansas City, Kansas City knew from the moment Patrick Mahomes was drafted, this day was going to come sooner rather than later. And now he goes to Washington and replaces Kirk Cousins. Two different quarterbacks. Kirk Cousins a little more of the freewheeling sort. Alex Smith more deliberate, more controlled, but can still throw that dagger pass downfield.
Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10. Smith on 1st down. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still 2nd down.
The false start hurts him there a bit. Backs him up to 2nd and 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Adrian Peterson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
On 2nd down, Peterson. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35. Peterson, Charles, at age 33, I think when he signed with the Redskins, people were wondering what would this season be like. Well, it started off pretty good.
Yeah, and you remember the reason why they're asking that question. Age 33. Last season didn't end very well in Arizona. Had some good games, but was hurt down the stretch. Didn't have those games again. But now, 96 yards in the season opener for Washington at Arizona. Comes back for 20 against Indianapolis, and then 120, a big performance against Green Bay. At his best, you're getting to Adrian Peterson that defenses fear.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
So on 4th down, the Redskins will call on Tress Way to punt it away. Back deep is Justin Hardy. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Now Ryan down around the goal line. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he's 8-yard line this time. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. From the shotgun, Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the end routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Complete to Jones. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time, and a 1st down.
I have no crystal ball up here. I can't truly see into the future. But if they don't start getting some pressure on him, make him move around a little bit and do something with the receivers, change up their timing, they're just going to get shredded, as we've seen so far. Right now, they're off to a blazing start.
Yeah, and you are right. He looks way too comfortable back there in the pocket.
Yeah, there shouldn't be a pillow back there for him, all right? If as a defensive guy, they've got to dump him on his backside a few times, shake things up.
Yeah, they're going to need an in-drive adjustment here on this first series. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, Ryan. It's caught over the middle, Hooper. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 3rd catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a 1st down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
They go play action here on 1st down. Drops it off for Coleman. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Ryan in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Coleman. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Ito Smith, his first carry. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. The kick by Tavecchio is good. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Washington's offense set to take over again here. You saw them last week against the New York Giants, 20-13. The Redskins wanted to get to 5-2. And Charles, that's their best start in a decade since 2008.
And they're doing it a little bit differently than anyone would have expected because from the time they signed Adrian Peterson, they became a true run-first team. And he looks like the 2008 version of himself. Had 149 yards and 2 touchdowns, including a 64-yard sprint for one of those TDs. His 15th career touchdown to 50-plus yards. That ties Barry Sanders for the most all-time among running backs. He really looks great.
And if you look at the Redskins' remaining schedule, it's the easiest in terms of winning percentage. So things looking bright in D.C.
The only team on their schedule that leads their division right now, and it has a winning record, the Houston Texans. Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. On 2nd down, here's Smith. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Off offensive starters time, Charles, for the Washington Redskins.
Let's look at Josh Dotson, the wide receiver out of TCU. Grew up in Fort Worth. His mom works at the university as a vice president. He actually went to Wyoming first, transferred back to TCU, and boy, is he a high flyer. Throw it up in the air, he'll go up and get it.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. A shotgun snap for Smith. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Vic Beasley with a big-time sack on third down, and it'll be a loss of 7.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Spinning away. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal. And I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
Yeah, maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Ryan Kerrigan in on the tackle.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They run the play fake to Coleman. Now Ryan. And he fires one that's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 37. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. First down, here's a run with Peterson. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
To throw on second down is Smith. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. That's good for a Redskin first down. Richardson on the reception from Smith. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
They give it to Peterson. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
They'll run with Peterson. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now second and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
Second and goal from inside the 5. He'll get it up the middle. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's third and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Here's Smith, and that is incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
So now on 4th down, the Redskins will hand things over to their kicker, Dustin Hopkins. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Hopkins' kick is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is taken at the 3. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 24. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Preston Smith. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And they're not going to get a playoff here as time will expire on this first quarter. 3-3 our score. We'll head back to FedEx Field after this timeout.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Here's Coleman, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs, but the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun, it's Ryan. He shakes him off. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Yeah, very smart play right there. Pocket collapsing around him. Loved the way he moved around a little bit and avoided the sack.
On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. Back deep here, Jamison Crowder. Taken from just outside the 30. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Smith. Throw left side is complete to Reed. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one. And that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. From the 50, it's Smith. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. I don't think that was a blitz, was it?
No, not at all. I mean, there was no blitz called on the play. Had other responsibilities, but he saw an opportunity, saw a path, and he took it.
The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. Handoff comes to Peterson. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. Here's Tressway now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So out come the Falcons now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Ryan. Looking deep downfield. And this will be caught at the 30. A big play there, Ryan to Jones. 54 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, Ryan. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Mohamed Sanu there. That'll bring up 2nd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. It's Ryan again. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Ryan Kerrigan able to get in and run him down for a loss of 14.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Operating from the gun, Ryan. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10. Here's Peterson as they begin on the ground. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. A deep ball for Dotson. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. Now it brings up 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. The Redskins on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, here's Smith. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
Here's Tressway now. He's been terrific so far. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This will be fielded at the 17. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And out will come the offense as they take over. And here now come the Falcons. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So on the big tight end.
Still 1st down.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Coleman now. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
They go play action with Ryan. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the play.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. This is Coleman. Now a loose football. Coleman lost it, but the Falcons were able to recover, so they will keep possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now Ryan on second down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The Falcons on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 2. From midfield now, here's Ryan. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance.
As he's on to punt for Washington. So out now come the Redskins. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10. They start the drive with Peterson. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Here's Smith now on 2nd down. That'll be caught right side by Reed. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The Redskins on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now Smith. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Here's Tressway now as he's on for the 5th time here today. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at the 20. They begin the drive with Coleman. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. On 2nd down, here's Ryan. The left side completion to Jones. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Ryan to Jones, the Falcon connection there for a first. Ryan now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. Here's Ryan. This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, a 22. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Zach Brown in from his linebacker spot. He's able to drop it for a loss of about 10. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. And they'll go on the ground. Good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole. 3rd and long.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
The Falcons on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. From the shotgun, Ryan. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
And here come the Redskins now. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10. after the interception. Here's Smith. And this is incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now it's AP, Adrian Peterson. And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. The Redskins on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime report.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
Third down, it's Adrian Peterson. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Here's Tressway now, standing just outside his own goal line. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he loses the football a second time. Into the Redskins have it, they do. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding offense.
So a decent game,
Still
but
first
all for
down.
naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Out of the gun, Smith. And that is incomplete.
And there's a good opportunity that just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Smith now to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. 3rd and long, it's Smith. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And ball security has been a big issue. You see the numbers there. He's fumbled twice already.
And whenever we talk about ball security, it's not simply how you're holding the ball when you run it. It's all the other things that you do. Is it in the proper arm, meaning the sideline is protecting you? Are you dipping a shoulder to protect the ball as well? And obviously, the 4 points of pressure to make sure it's tucked firmly against your body so people can't pop it out.
They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing now, Ryan on first down. And finding the tight end, Hooper. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Getting it out left side to Sanu. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Ryan to Sanu, good for an Atlanta first down. 10, it's Ryan. And his throw is incomplete. It was DJ Swearinger right there on the coverage.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They run the play fake to Coleman. Now Ryan. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. The Falcons on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Ryan will throw again. Connects with Sanu right side. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been as good as advertised, just a field goal separating these two teams, as they've already made their way back out of the locker room. So to bring you the story of the second half, let's get you right back out to Brandon Godden.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter. Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, Ryan. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's able to get up here to the 26. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Ryan. And that is incomplete. Quentin Dunbar right there on the coverage.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Matt Bosher now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Crowder now to return. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So now we look at the Redskins offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10. They try to fire up the run game with Adrian Peterson. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. Now it's Smith off the bootleg. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Smith now just 8 of 16 thus far, 50%, but it's 1st and 10. They run. Peterson. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
To throw on 2nd down is Smith. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Smith. Now they go screen. It's complete. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I know you've got a baseball background, right?
A little bit. Started minor league ball.
Yeah, you did some of that, right? What do they do when they do the signals? An indicator, right?
Tells you whether it goes or not, yeah.
Yeah, whether the play's on or not. How about the indicators offensive linemen give when they're getting ready to run a screen pass? And if those get red, well, we just saw that there, didn't we?
No gain.
No gain. Deciphered it and finished the play off.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now it's Ryan. It's caught over the middle. Hooper. And they'll get him down here at the 23. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Play action. Ryan keeps himself upright. He's going to go for a big play downfield. Now the defense loses him. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A gain of 39 that time. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Ryan. Caught on the right side by Jones. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, a 22. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. Now flags come flying in. One of the Falcons moved early.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on
Still
that
first
play.
down.
Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They go play action with Ryan. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Preston Smith in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. From the gun, Ryan. Sanu with a grab over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his 1st one, this from 44 yards out now. Tavecchio puts this one through, and that will tie things up at 6-6. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10. Now a give to Peterson running left. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, here's Smith. And he drops this off to Townsend, complete. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The Redskins on 3rd down. Can you believe it? 0 for 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, here's Smith. It's brought in by Doxson. Smith finding Doxson that time for a Washington first.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Smith now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Another tote for the workhorse here this afternoon, Peterson. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. In on the stop, DeMonte Casey.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The Redskins on 3rd down. Not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This is 3rd and 8. A shotgun snap for Smith. Doxson with a grab over the middle. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. So there on that play offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
They run the counter now. It's Peterson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Here's Smith now on 2nd down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Smith. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by DeMonte Kazin.
So it's 3rd and long, and you know this is going to be a pass. So defensively, they're bringing an extra defensive back and just blanket the field. And this is an ill-advised throw right here as it winds up being picked off easily.
And now let's discuss Julio Jones. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
After the interception, here's Ryan. And his throw here's incomplete. He was hoping to get that one to Tevin Coleman in space. And it's 2nd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it. And in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
They go play action now. Ryan. And oh, look at that. A diving catch. And they call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. Ryan now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Ryan. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. To throw again is Ryan. Drops it off for Coleman. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
The Falcons on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 8. Again, Ryan. The left side completion to Jones. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Washington. Now it's Crowder. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
And once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Now Peterson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field, all even as we get ready to start the 4th. And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary now on 3rd. Smith now, operating from the gun. Complete. Richardson has it. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Now a run with Peterson. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Now Smith to throw on 2nd down. Ball hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up. Here's Smith. From the gun, he'll throw. Incomplete. He had his hands on it, but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 16. To throw is Ryan. Getting it out left side to Sanu. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. They run the play fake to Coleman. Now Ryan. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
The Falcons on 3rd down. A very anemic, 1 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing again, Ryan. And this is going to be incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Here's Matt Bosher now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks, because then the defense has the advantage.
Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Crowder's got it over the middle. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone, because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Carry number 20 now for Peterson. And tough going there, as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up, because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on 2nd down is Smith. And he's got his target. It's Vernon Davis. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play, because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Smith on 3rd down. Jordan Reed has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Smith finding his big tight end read for a Redskins first.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Here's Peterson. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Again, Peterson. 5 yards on the play there. It's a drive will continue.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook. Go play action. Toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Peterson. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the pistol, they run with Peterson. Peterson a 1st down and more. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a 1st down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
They'll try the air now with Smith. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. Now here's a whistle as flags come in. And we'll check out the call.
False start, offense.
So that'll back them up 5.
Still first down.
And they'll try again here, 1st and goal after the false start. Following the penalty, it's Peterson. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. They'll give it to him up the middle. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Now we've got whistles here before the snap. Was this on the Redskins? I think so.
Offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards.
Still 3rd down.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. That's complete right around the 8. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They do get 8 out of the pitch and catch. However, it's 4th down.
Nice completion, nice gain.
Great tackle.
Really good tackle. Kept him in bounds, kept things going. What do you do here?
That's the question. Let's see what they do. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to break our 4th quarter tie. And Hopkins' kick is good. And they take the lead here as it's now 9-6. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. And last time out they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up. But you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover, and wow, now we've got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 23. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. It's caught over the middle. Hooper And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. From the gun, it's Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. His big game continues. 10 catches now and another first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing now, Ryan on first down. Throwing deep here. That's caught at the 25. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 43 yards. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. He'll look to throw. His throw caught right around the 6. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll look to throw. And that'll be hauled in by the tight end. It's Hooper for the Falcon touchdown. Austin Hooper from 3 yards out. And the Falcons have taken the lead here in the 4th.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
They get one more as the extra point's up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10. He's back to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Thompson. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Back to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Richardson. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Back to throw. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, 2nd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Now it's Smith. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. 3rd and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure, and if you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
Smith now to throw. And that will be incomplete as well. Figuring they're going for it on 4th down. Remember, though, they do have all 3 timeouts, so even if they don't get it, all is not lost.
Yeah, normally in this situation, when you're talking about having to go for it, everything is in this play. But as you noted, with those 3 timeouts, they actually have a little bit of a safety net.
Desperation time for Smith on 4th down. Over the middle, complete. It's Richardson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. Smith. And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It's a gain of 7, and it's a 2nd down. Now Smith. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Now we've got whistles here before the snap. Was this on the Redskins? I think so.
False start, offense.
That was a 3rd and somewhat manageable, now not so manageable.
Exactly. Because you had a play call on that you felt like, hey, this could go quick, and it doesn't take much to get it done. Now, you got to start thinking about a little bit of a deeper route type of a call, especially if you want to throw it.
Now after the false start, they need 8 yards here on 3rd down. To the air again, Smith. Open man, it's Vernon Davis. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On 1st down, Smith. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I'll tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Second and 10, Smith again. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout, and now we're set to get going. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Again, Smith. Oh, no, he lost the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
The Falcons in victory formation as they take a knee. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. You can really tell right now both sides have amped up the aggressiveness. That time the offense winning the aggression battle.
And the defense was obviously aiming for the football, maybe a little bit more so than the runner himself, and that's why he was able to break through and get the gain that he did.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from Landover.